and welcome to, oh shit, what are we called now?
A Little Unhinged podcast?
I thought it was Slightly Unhinged.
Slightly Unhinged, yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Start out that way. Great.
Alright, those of y'all listen to us forever, they all know our voices by now. We've got a guest with us today from BOLO Defense. I'm glad you had the shirt on because I couldn't remember if it was BOLO, like what. But
everybody knows BOLO, but they don't know.
I know there's two words, so I'm too retarded to remember the second one.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? My name's Mike Zabel, owner of BOLO Defense. Glad to be here. Great city of Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool for us, like just to get away from home and come out here and do this.
Definitely.
So we appreciate having you. We really do.
Of course,
really do. So for people that don't know who BOLO is yet, just dive into it, man. Who is BOLO? What do y'all do?
Sure. So, who is BOLO? So yeah, BOLO is actually, the company name is BOLO Defense. BOLO is my dog's name.
What? I love that already.
Yeah.
What kind of dog is it?
He's a pit.
Hell
He's a pit. But we design, manufacture, and sell gear. You know, our journey or our mission is to equip, empower, and educate people. We see it so often to where the average American wants a firearm, but then they go buy it because they think it's a good idea to have it just laying around, but then they don't know how to use it.
Right. We see it all the time. They buy a gun, they bring it to the range one time, and then they put it in
They put it in a safe, and then push
never
comes to
never touch it again.
Never touch it again. Push comes to shove, and they need to use it, but they have no idea. Fumbling like the Secret Service lady.
Yes.
So
we have failed our people.
So that's kind of the journey, and providing really high quality gear for people as well.
I dig it. What So what's your background? Like, how'd you get started in this?
So I'm a blue collar guy, man. I've been, you told me earlier you're a mechanic. I've been wrenching on cars since I was a little shit.
Oh, yeah.
But I was a CNC machinist. Then was planning to move to Texas. Once I kind of like got my ass up to Texas, I was like, I kind of just, I've always been really good and big into SEO marketing in like the e-commerce business world.
Right.
And I had a mentor through the time I was even moving to Texas. And so I was living off Fort Hood when I got here.
Yeah.
I was actually living on Fort Hood when I got here. I'm not service, I'm not prior military, but I was living with my brother, which is, and it was really funny. Now we could say this, he's out, but we were living together in the barracks, and at the time I was a machinist, so I was waking up before they had room checks.
Right.
At like 5 a.m. to get my shit and pack what I owned in the corner of the fucking closet.
Hell yeah.
So when they did the room check, nobody knew. But it was a little tough, there's only one bed, so it was rotating, one on the floor, one on the bed, and then the next night the other one had the sleeping bag, the other one had the floor.
Hell yeah. But that goes back to, if you want dreams to work, you got to work for it. And that's all there is that's life in general in a nutshell right there. 100%. If you want something, you got to work for it.
100%. I mean, and we were always so just like, this is what we're gonna do, and don't really give a shit what happens and what gets in the way. So it never bothered us that we were kind of like going against the grain of the system here, and I mean, it was funny. It's more when you look back at it, it's hilarious.
Right.
So.
that is pretty funny.
Yeah, I even went to the level of getting like a buzz cut.
Just you smile away, you look like you belong.
So they would ask him, they'd be like, his last name, because that's what, in the military you go by last name. His last name, they'd be like, oh, new soldier? And he'd be like, yeah, they're a bunch of like air defense guys.
Oh, that's funny.
It's funny, yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you what his MOS was.
Air defense, yeah.
Okay, right on.
So you to get out here, you had a mentor. How do you even find that? Like, that's a huge thing, and it's a huge hurdle. Nobody knows where to start, what to do. How did you find that?
Yeah, so I mean, originally I was super against it. Believe it or not, I was like, I can figure it out myself. YouTube teaches you everything. Blah 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 blah. And then I really started learning. Like, whoa, here's some of my competitors. And keep in mind, by the way, I failed twice before we hit here. And so,
but I love that. Like, you have to fail to succeed.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to own that.
Falling forward.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
Everybody. I've seen so many people start to fail, and then they get discouraged. Like, I failed. No, you won, because essentially the way you have to look at it is you didn't actually fail. You think of it as a video game. You play, you get to the boss, and then the boss kills you, and then you do it again. You click respawn, you play. Now you beat that boss, but the next one kills you, and then you respawn, and then you beat that first, and then now you beat the second, and then you just keep going on.
Yeah.
I mean, BOLO Defense,
you're learning every way.
Exactly. You just keep learning. So like everybody was telling me, they're like, like some of the communities and things I'm in for just business, and they're like, oh, how are you taking this failure? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is not a failure. Like I was able to then backtrack on the mistakes we made and then fix them along the way. I mean, even with BOLO Defense today, we make mistakes, but we just are so calculated in the mentality of, okay, that's fine. We made that mistake. Let's adjust and re-coordinate and figure it out.
And I love that. That's the big thing. Like on our podcast intro, we even, there's one of us is saying that, I make mistakes, I have problems, but I'm going to own them. And that's just life, man. Yeah. Like everybody, there was one perfect person, and it was millions of years ago. You know what I mean? Like everybody's going to screw up. Everybody's going to make mistakes. It's all a matter of how you learn from it and how you drive forward. So that's, and I like hearing like a business owner being like, you know what, we failed, and then here we are. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, failure just happens.
Yeah,
it's not like something you could predict. It's not. I mean, there's of course been times where we've done something where it's like, well, we'll see how this hits.
Right.
And that's different.
Yeah. But in all honesty too, and I know I've got a lot of friends that own businesses and whatnot, and more like restaurants and food trucks
traditional
and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's 2 or 3 of them, they've never had a failure. Like they just were like, hey, this is what I want to do, and they hit the ground running with it, and it just was awesome.
Yeah.
And so it's like when they do throw out an idea and it flops, they don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't face that in the beginning, didn't have to work up to that. So they're just like, oh God, I guess we're gonna quit now. And I'm like, what? No. Like, so yeah, I feel like to build a better long-term good thing, you have to have that adversity. Is that the big word I'm trying to find?
Yeah.
You're the smart
You have to
have that in the beginning and learn how to grow from it.
I mean, 100%. I see so many people like, I want to start, I want to do this, and how do I start, and how do I do this? Well, just start. Because if you sit there and try to calculate, or the one rule we have about business is engineers make the worst entrepreneurs.
Oh my God.
Because they sit there and overanalyze everything.
Engineers make the worst everything.
And so
that's just as mechanics saying that.
But you'll have the guy that grows a pair of, part of my English where he grows a pair of balls and he just does it.
Right.
And he fails. And then he okay, I learned from the failure, and then boom, he does it again. And boom, he learned from that failure and then does it again. And now he's actually starting to succeed while the guy that's analyzing everything is still analyzing. Yeah. He hasn't even put his foot in the water.
Yeah.
We call it analysis paralysis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Analysis paralysis.
It's kind of, Luke said something on the way up here. He was like, it's either one day or day one. It's your choice.
Exactly.
And I was like, holy shit, I love that.
Exactly.
But it's so true. And honestly, it took me a little while for that to really sink into me. But it's true. It's either you keep putting it off and go, one day I'm going to do it, one day. Or you go, you know what, this is day one.
Exactly.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I love that.
And then just take the red pill.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, I'm all about the pills.
Yeah.
I mean, the red pills.
So, what made you get started into the plate carriers side of things? And
of all the options available,
all the options, what was the gear?
We're going to make our name in plate carriers.
Well, you know what? So initially it wasn't. We did a couple different, because now I have systems and teams with BOLO Defense. BOLO Defense is definitely becoming a big thing. But before it wasn't. But then I kind of sat down one day in my backyard and looked at the fence for 30 minutes. And I'm like, wait, I live in Texas. I have a whole bunch of guns. I live right next to a military base. I have family in the military. My roommate's in the military. And a lot of my friends are in the military. And I like this stuff a lot. And we could do really good. So then, boom, I consulted the mentor, and he's like, well, why didn't you think of this earlier? I was like, I don't know.
Why now, dumbass? You should have already done it.
So, yeah, exactly. So then we kind of just, we hit it like a bull and went crazy, fast as we could, hard as we could, and it did good, pretty quickly. I mean, we had a couple adjustments we had to make to the V. Like, you have still one of the original original V1 carriers. First 500 he has.
I have it in
and I love it. I love it. Like, so he told me when he got it, he was like, bro, I got this carrier instant from this company. He was like, if it sucks, I'm going to rip it to shreds. And I was like, dude, I'm going to help you. And then, like, it came in. I was like, so tell me about that carrier you got. And he was like, it fucks. Yeah. And I was like, dude, what? He was like,
it fucks.
I was so ready for it to suck and just to tear it to pieces, but you should get one. It's badass. So, like, really?
It's dope.
Yeah.
It's been wild too seeing y'all, like, from when y'all first contacted me, just grow. Like, it's been really cool seeing that grow.
Yeah. And as soon as he told me about it, I was like, I'm gonna follow on IG and see how they do. And I've been watching y'all every step of the way, dude. And it's been awesome.
It's been really cool. It really is.
Really, really cool. Like, it's awesome. And it's cool because we got other buddies. Anything Target. I shot some stuff with him last weekend, and he was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna order that BOLO carrier next because it's really the one I want, and the one I'm using right now is just gonna turn into." So he does a YouTube channel where he like takes construction equipment and makes plates out of it and shoots to see like what all goes through it. It's crazy what he does.
Okay.
I like the video I was doing with him. We were testing a Temu plate that he bought. It was honestly very impressive.
Me and him have been working on our gelatin mold.
I've seen those be like hit or miss.
Yeah. Dude, it was crazy. He put the video out so I can say it now, but dude, it stopped 9mm 357 44 mag through a rifle.
Okay.
The first round that actually went through, it was a 12 gauge like saboted slug. It was crazy.
Okay.
And then he had made a homemade ballistics gel and put it behind it. It was awesome. But he was like, yeah, my vest I'm currently wearing, my carrier I'm currently wearing is going to turn into the carrier for my videos. Okay. And I'm buying a BOLO for like actual real life practices.
Hell yeah.
Like, hell yeah, bro. So like,
it's
cool just watching and just hearing people say y'all's name outside of grid and stuff, and it's like, bro, like they're out there. They're doing things. It's cool.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we take so much time with R&D. Like, I could, like, that carrier that I showed you, actually, if you want to grab it, I could show.
Yes. Dude, it is so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
We've hinted this thing before, but it's not. They're just training plates. But we've hinted this, and we could go ahead and release this tomorrow. But there's like certain aspects of it that we're not ready to release yet, and we've been working on that in particular product for like roughly, give or take, 8 months.
But I love that because it's not like
you're putting work into it. You're putting effort into that product. It's like love and attention into it.
And let me send it to a handful of people that I trust. You test it out, and then we'll put it out. Like, instead of, there's so many people that put stuff out and be like, yeah, I know that was shit when we sent it out, but we just wanted to get it out there. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, if you notice, we don't do, in the beginning, you probably remember, like, we used to post on TikTok. Then we stopped entirely because what we learned.
TikTok's a freaking cesspool to post on anyway.
Sure, but what we learned was the way the affiliate marketing works on TikTok is really bad. Okay, I'm a big person that believes, and I'm just gonna say that this is the right way to look at it. The way that somebody buys something is they sell themselves on something, not somebody sitting here like, oh yeah, look at this holster and it's made out of garbage, and like, people buy Kydex holsters. Let's just be honest. Like, you guys, Kydex, right?
He makes Kydex.
Yeah, I make Kydex.
People buy Kydex holster. The example I'm using here is like you'll see somebody like advertising some $5 floppy like thin leather holster.
We are people.
So okay, there's nothing wrong with that, but affiliate marketing, it's a good way to market, sure, blah 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 blah. But people want to be sold themselves. And then when you have somebody that doesn't actually genuinely give a shit about the product, sitting there talking about it, you got to buy this because I used it. And then you can just tell by the way it's set up that they never used it.
Right.
People aren't stupid.
Yeah.
They're going to go, no.
So the funniest thing, you're saying this, and this is dumb, but you're going to get it. Have you ever seen an ad for Hunt's Brothers Pizza?
No.
But motherfuckers buy it all day, every day. Crack doesn't need an ad. You know what I'm saying? Like, truthfully, like, bro, like, it's everywhere. Like, if something's good, then it's just good, and people will talk about it.
Well, that's the mentality. You
Yeah.
spend all the time through the R&D. You make something truly great, then Grid goes to the range with you, and he's like, bro, you gotta buy this.
Yeah.
And that's the one.
Like we were talking about shooting a video of dragging him behind the truck by the plate carrier.
I didn't tell you that part yet.
It's that tough though. We're like, you can do whatever you want with this
I
thing.
feel pretty confident.
Yeah, like it's
safely behind the truck.
right. Yeah, it's not my company truck. 'Cause we'll get the truck. Whatever. But like, truthfully, like that's. So I wear a pair of work boots at work that a lot of people talk a lot of crap on because they're like, all these celebrities just promoted, that's why you want it. But they're trash, they're just promoted by slaves, just exactly what you're saying.
Right.
So there's so much of that stuff now that, because it is pushed on you so much by social media, you're like, is it really good? Or is it just some celebrity, or, I say celebrity, more influencer.
Right.
Yeah, is pushing it that makes it popular.
Well, you know what? I'll just expose this. And does it benefit me to expose this? Actually, no, it would technically hurt me. But we don't really do too much affiliate marketing, so I'll go ahead and say it. And we don't do it like that, on purpose. We'll run our ads from us individually.
Right.
And we'll reach out, like Tommy right now, he's been reaching out to people in this space. But he's not reaching out to Rick's Guns YouTube channel, nobody.
Yeah.
He's reaching out to very credible people, and that's very different.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
right?
yeah.
So, but what I'll say is all these guys are just commission. So how much views can I get? How much people can I get to click this link? They don't give a damn about the product.
Right.
And so that's the quote unquote, like, now the consumer has to sit there and be like, well, is it really good? Because what you're looking for when you buy something as a consumer is genuine input, review. You remember like back in 2015 when you would go on YouTube and type in Monster Energy drink review, and then you would like find people's input.
Right.
Well, it's hard to do that nowadays because everything's just commission.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. That's I do a lot in the, oddly enough, in the fitness space. The fat kid saying that. But so I'm an affiliate for Bucked Up Supplements, and I'll tell you, I did it because I truly believe in their product and I like it. Now,
I like Bucked Up.
yeah, and there's another one I was with before, First Form, and they make good stuff. But it's a lot like you're saying. It was such a commission-driven thing that everybody was just pushing it, no matter if they liked it or not, because they got paid on their sales.
And there's quotas for it too.
Yes, yes. And I would talk to people, and I'm like, "Do you even use that?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know. I just screenshotted the ad, and pushed the hell out of it." Yeah, and I'm like, "Bro, why would you put your name on something you don't use?"
Yeah. I mean, when we have ambassadors, but we have a very it's actually not even a full hand, it's this.
Right.
Missing the thumb, right? But the ambassadors are like handpicked. Like we sit at a table like this and we go, okay, well, out of who we've worked with in the past, who do we want to pitch or offer to be an ambassador? And of course the ambassadors have the opportunity to make a commission.
Yeah.
But like it's more powerful to have 10 ambassadors versus 10,000 ambassadors.
Oh yes. Oh yes. That's and you see that a lot in the outdoor.
Oversaturate.
Yes, yes. In the outdoor world, which is my other space that I really have a lot of involvement in, like in the fishing world, like tournament bass fishing is huge. Okay, and like as far as like lures and stuff, like dude, you'll pull up to like the shittiest little weekend tournament, and there's this dude that has 30,000 stickers all over his boat because he gets a 10% discount on every sale for this lure and that lure and everything else. And so, like, the next thing you know, there's 30,000 people pushing the same bait, and you're like, bro, that shit sucks.
Yeah.
Y'all are just pushing it because you hope that you make money.
Yeah.
And then you get to talking with them,
Almost
and they don't
becomes like
even
a pyramid
use
scheme.
It is. It really is.
100%.
I'm waiting
And
for that to happen.
they're all like, oh yeah, but I'm on pro staff for them, and I got their name on my jersey, and I'm like, why do you have a jersey for a freaking weekend club on the bayou? Like, chill the fuck out, bro. Like,
That's one
this is the
thing
Bassmaster
that
Classic. Like, it's so oversaturated in the outdoor world. It drives me insane.
100%.
I can't stand it.
I guess as like an influencer, which I hate saying that, it does kind of help when you can do that kind of stuff. But like, man, you just can't take everything.
Right.
That's the thing. You can't take
Right.
everything.
Exactly.
Because that loses your credibility completely. Like, I've had a few companies come to me, and I'm just like, I don't want to do anything with that, like, at all. Just because, like, one, because they're from China, mostly. But,
right.
you know, a couple companies, and
that's me. I will not put my name on something I don't believe in.
Yeah.
Like, I just will not.
Yeah.
Like, and I was always told my whole life, and I grew up with old school values. Y'all know me. Your name is everything. Don't put your name on something you can't trust and you don't believe in. And that's all there is to it. And that's what y'all do there. And that's what I love that. Like, I like the fact that y'all do that much development and whatnot before you put a product out, because it's not just some bullshit being shoved down people's throats. And that's what most of consumer market is nowadays. It's just buy this shit.
Well, you know what? It's a lot of here, our manufacturer, for example, they have, okay, you want a hat? Then you could just buy this cookie cutter hat that everybody else is buying and slapping their name on.
Right.
But it's a manufacturer, and when it's a manufacturer, you can go ahead and spend the time to actually go through an R&D process and design something unique.
Right.
A lot of people don't do that. You know, let's be fair. With really good advertising and marketing, you can get away with that, and a lot of people do.
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know, so, and they make a lot of money doing it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're not really like, what's the sustainability behind that?
Exactly.
It's going to go away at some point.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
well, and you're selling a product that's a little bit more important than a fucking hat. You know? So it's like, I want to test this and make sure it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I can name probably a handful of companies in our world that do that too.
Oh yeah.
You know, so.
I can too without even looking. Like just knowing, just having it in my hands, I can tell you that's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And some of the names are pretty big, and you look at it, and you're like,
pretty
really?
big.
These terrorists might stop some of that.
Right. They probably, in all honesty, they probably will.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it.
Hell yeah. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Speaking of terrorists, how would I can talk about some of that. But
So I mean, the tariffs. Look, this is something that's happened. I guess to get political here, this is a first. This is like history that he's making here. I think we all kind of stand on the same side, you know. So this is history he's making. I'm comparing this to like the Afghan pullout. It's a very heavy hit all at once. This is not only going to affect companies like myself. It's going to affect the entire country, it's going to affect all the other countries too. But what he's trying to do, this is like a game of chicken. So it's who's gonna bend first. And you know, Trump, like if you, I read books. You know, I'm pretty big into like self-development and stuff like that. But if you've ever read his book, The Art of the Deal, in the book he goes, you cannot go to a table to negotiate if you're not willing to walk away.
Right.
So he, no matter what anybody wants to say, this does suck right now. It sucks for everybody. It's going to suck for you, me, and him, because the price of a monster is going to go up. Everything's going to go up. It's just how it works. Until somebody folds.
Right.
Then you start bringing things to America. And that's what his ultimate goal is, which is fair enough. He's sick and tired of this country being, you know, poked around like a bunch of peasants. And that's great. It's about time somebody stands up for that. But,
no, I agree.
But it's for right now, it's going to affect everybody, including us.
I mean, it's a business tactic. That's what he is.
And
That's what
eventually, either China's going to bend and be like, all right, let's meet in the middle on this, or companies are just going to be like, let's just start it here.
I think Taiwan has already agreed to pay the tariff, or to release the tariff, because they have a tariff for United States imports.
Yeah.
So, and that's what it is. It's a negotiation tactic.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And people get scared by it because it's something we've never seen.
And you know what? Let's be honest.
The media.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like that's not no like little boy move. Like,
No, it's not. No, that's a big move.
You're talking 50 up to I think 54% on some countries.
Yeah.
And some of these countries are not like I saw the British Virgin Islands on there, which is like a borders right on America. You know, Florida, that body of water.
Yeah, it's like a 30-minute boat ride.
Yeah, so I mean, you're talking about and he's not playing around. He I think agreed to allow things to be imported from Mexico if it meets the whatever that agreement United States, Mexico, Canada, whatever agreement. So, and that's certain products. That's not for everything.
Right. Yeah.
So
there's a lot of that. I've really been reading on the no tax overtime thing because I work a ton of overtime. It's not what people think it is. It's not just, none of your overtime is going to be taxed. There's a lot to every bit of these moves. And every one of them, they're bigger than you realize.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a plan.
Yeah.
And you just got to hold on. Because it might suck for a little bit, but I think it's going to turn out to be better.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. We kind of had a country just like floating for the past 4 years, you know.
as the country
no
moved very
direction,
stagnant.
like terrified of where we were gonna go.
Right.
Well, nobody knew. You know, you have a president that is like, is he really the president? And then
senile as fuck.
then you like, yeah. So
Yeah.
you this I guess is new. Or I guess not new, but more of like a poke on the shoulder for everybody. Like, hey, this is how the president is supposed to do things. He's actually working.
Yes.
Yes. And he's getting after it. But you know, this could be back to the earlier conversation. Who knows? He could. This could be a flunk.
Right.
It could be a flunk. You know, I'm sure they're looking at it that way. Of course, when he talks to media and everything, he's gonna be, yeah, it's going great. And that's just Trump.
Yeah.
Trump has always been taught to never admit defeat, and he never will.
No.
So the world could be collapsing today, and he'll say everything's great, the stock market's up, and boom, 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 and that's just Trump. But you kind of have to.
I like that about him, though. I like that he just slings it around. He's like, you know what? I don't give a damn. We're gonna take care of it. We're gonna make it work. Like,
but in reality, things could be going bad. So you kind of have to look at it as from your own point of view and make your own opinion on situations, right?
Yeah, and that's so much of everything. We were talking about that earlier. Maybe I wasn't with y'all. No, I was talking about coming here to Austin to a family member of mine, and they're like, "Oh, get ready for the liberals over there," and I was like,
Austin has a lot of it because there's a lot of Cali people here. You know?
Yeah, I got some cousins that live out here that we don't even talk anymore because, and it's not my choice. I don't give a damn. I love everybody, no matter what you know, how you feel. But like their political beliefs, they're like, I just can't talk to you anymore. I'm like, whatever, bro. That's all.
I don't get that, man.
I don't
It's
either.
crazy.
I really don't. But
I
it's
can
like
have completely different beliefs from somebody and still have a decent conversation.
exactly.
With them. I don't care.
Exactly.
You know?
Like, I mean.
People are people.
Yeah, right, yeah. And I want to see
Unless
everybody
they're
succeed.
annoying, then that's different. Yeah.
It's fine.
Unless they're just too far.
Yeah. That's why we
Yeah, but I mean, still having some decency. Like, I mean, if somebody approaches me and they, whatever.
I'll cut that out.
Whatever side of the spectrum they're on, hey, can you help me pick this up? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Well, and I think that's what
decent,
people
really.
don't realize is that most of the people in our space, like in this world that we operate in, we're ready to help anybody.
yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Like, I don't give a damn who you are. But I mean,
We deal with hurricanes.
yeah, exactly. Like you and I went to the army, and that was our job, was to help everybody. I met you in the state guard, and that was our job, was to help everybody.
Right.
You have a company that helps everybody. Like, it's just that mindset that we're going to help
do
the people
something
around
to make
us.
our community better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's just, I don't understand how people can be so selfish that they don't want to help the person next to them. Like, I will never understand that concept.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. But I also understand that there comes a point where you have to back off and people can only get so much help. Because I'm bad about being that person that will help the motherfucker next to me to the point that I've got nothing left. And I'm like, I don't know why they won't just fix their shit. And it's like, all they want is your hand out. They don't want to actually be helped. They just want you to hold their hand.
Right.
So that's the issue.
Right. Could agree.
I don't know. It's just world, like life in general, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no,
It's
yeah.
Chaos.
Absolutely.
Chaos.
So what I just had a question and it literally just went right out my head as soon as I went to ask it.
Your autism showing.
I know. Thank you.
Probably need a monster. It'll come right back.
You want a white monster? I know you don't have
No,
one.
I'm gonna start like tweaking if I drink another energy drink. I've had so many today.
This is how I function.
I don't know how you do that.
Mass amounts of caffeine. It keeps the ADHD chill. I only have like
It's
3 voices instead of 12.
It's a real thing.
I
It really
no, I
is.
know. I've been on it. I stopped and I've been away from.
But you take
that and
medication
alcohol.
now. I don't.
Yeah, that's probably why.
My medication is caffeine and alcohol.
It just makes me
I
sleepy.
don't do the alcohol, but I do the caffeine.
Yeah, I haven't drank in years. I'm always the sober
Yeah, same.
adult one here. So
I haven't had a drink in minutes.
we were waiting and he was like, "You think I have time to go down to the bar?" I was like, "Fuck
Like, I gotta go have a whiskey drink before we do this, please. It is what it is. It's all a matter of what you gotta do to.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
You know, life's crazy, man, and it's crazy, like the things that you you go through and live with, and then you're like, okay, I have to cope with my life and chill out these things so I can do this part of it for a little while, and it's just is what it is.
So tell me what you were telling me earlier about the fitness.
Oh yeah, how we got here. Yeah, so
we got so far.
So yeah, I realized that I was at the worst shape of my life, and it was horrible. I was powerlifting for the longest, right? And I had my 3rd knee surgery on the left knee. I'm looking at my 4th now. And I was like, bro, I'm like 36, 37 at that point in my life. I was like, I probably should quit. I should probably just walk away from this. I should stop trying to. I was chasing a 1,000-pound squat. Like that was like my mindset was I had to get there. I was like, I should probably give up. Like 750, 800 is not bad. Like I should be happy with that and just walk away. So I did. And I didn't quit eating like I was powerlifting. I just quit the gym like I was powerlifting. So I got fucking huge.
Yeah.
And one day I bent over to tie my shoes, and I was like, oh, I can't catch my breath. This is fucking dumb. So I got back to working out, and I got to, like, by that point, I also got into, like, a really, like, the most stable relationship of my life, and I got into, like, a good situation with church and whatnot, and one day it hit me, I was like, man, to be fit, you really need to be, like, physically fit, mentally fit, like, my PTSD and my ADHD and probably autism, apparently. I'm autistic, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And all that stuff has to be fixed. And then your physical fitness as well.
Right.
And so I started an IG that I've barely done anything with because I'm too ADHD to keep up with it. But it's called Kind of Fit Vet. Mm-hmm. And I reached out to Grid and I was like, look, this is what I'm doing. And I think that I have like this calling to do a podcast to help people just realize that you're not alone in having a problem.
Right.
And not, you know, it's like, and I don't want to just have like a whole bunch of sob stories. I want to have like success. I want to have people like yourself that, well, you know what, I want to start a business and I fell on my face 2 or 3 times in it, but I kept pushing forward and I made a business out of it. And like, just come on and talk about like your failures and your successes and your struggles and what it takes to get to where you are, because everybody has a bigger story than you realize in the first 10 minutes of meeting somebody. Of little small interactions. And he was like, bro, I was thinking about doing something like that myself. And so it was kind of born. He and I started this together, just the two of us. We called it Triumph in the Shadows originally. Yeah. And which was a cool name. Mm-hmm. But we felt like we were kind of like cornered into just talking about the mental health side of things.
Right.
And
there's more to life.
Right. And we really get off the rails and just talk about life and fun things and have fun along the way.
Right.
And we're like, man, we don't want to be pinholed to that. So we changed the name to Slightly Unhinged Podcast. And we picked up Kickstand along the way. We've been friends with him forever, but he was living in West Texas. And he came back home and to help take care of his parents, his dad, and your mom?
Yeah, both of them. They're
in bad health and whatnot, so he came back into town to take care of them, and we're like, whether you know it or not, you're part of the podcast.
So I'm
forced
here.
it.
And voluntold, baby.
We didn't give him an option.
No, we really didn't. So it's been a fun, like, in all honesty, we've done a lot of projects together, and we've done a lot on our own. You know, like Grid has the whole Grid thing by himself. We all did this thing that I don't know if we can say the name of anymore because it all dissolved and it went stupid. And then we did another thing afterwards. It was, what were we, tactical? What was it called after that? Valhalla's Misfits. Yeah, that's the one I couldn't say. We were Valhalla's Misfits, and we did a bunch of, the one I just said. And we did a bunch of YouTube videos and it was just dumb shit.
Right.
But this has been like the most fun and like impactful, and like then I just want everybody to realize that, like you said earlier, life is hard, but pick your fucking heart.
Yeah.
You know, and weak is a choice. Mm-hmm. You know, weak is a choice. Like weak-minded, weak muscle, whatever. It's a choice, and you just have to wake up and choose to be a badass every fucking day.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds maybe a little take it as you wish, I'll say, but not everybody's gonna wake up and choose that.
No,
and
not
you know
at all.
why? And that's great for somebody that is gonna wake up and choose that, because you know it's just if you can wake up and do the things that somebody else doesn't want to do or somebody else won't do,
right?
Then those people aren't even like in your realm.
Yeah, exactly. And not everybody's made to be a leader and run things and whatnot, and that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, but you have to be strong in the things that you do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's really what I mean by that. Like, not everybody is not everybody's a warrior. You know, there's lovers and there's fighters. You know, and you gotta have both, but be the best you can at what you're doing.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and that's the whole thing. Like, we just wanted to bring more awareness to everybody struggling.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody goes through it one way or the other. I mean, I'm pretty guilty of this. You know, if I'm having the world's worst day ever, you know, hey Mike, how's your day? Oh, it's great.
Living the fucking dream.
Doing great. Love it. I'm pretty guilty of this, but at the end of the day, it's
the whole
like,
time you're like, man, I could throw that toaster in the bathtub tonight. This is great.
you know, and then I'll just like, I'll go cope with it like by picking shit up and down at the. I mean, I go to the gym every day.
Yeah.
But that's or
Yeah,
like
heavy shit.
yeah,
Sure,
heavy shit.
and it's amazing how much lifting heavy shit just makes you feel better.
Well, because what happens is like you'll sit there, and this is like I think the logic behind it. You'll sit there and something's going on, and then you'll just be like I bottle. I don't voice it. You know, I usually bottle it up, and I just don't tell anybody because like I guess I'm at a point where you know I have people that are with BOLO Defense, and I'm willing to sacrifice my own sanity to make sure that they could stay at peace.
Right.
Because if I am worried about something or I'm panicking about something, then who do they have to go to? And so it's one of those leadership things. Like, yeah, sure, you could say it sucks, but it is what it is. I've learned how to deal with it, and it's like I said, the gym is a good way for me. Pretty big into cars, but you know, currently I've gotten rid of all my cars.
Yeah, that's an expensive hobby.
Yeah, expensive hobby, but
that's strong leadership, lead from the front. You know, and that's, to me, that's where people should be, and you should be able to focus that. You know, like take it out on the weights, man. That's always been kind of my thing. Like, I'm not one to come home and bitch and moan about work. If you hear me talking about work, it's because you asked me.
yeah,
Like, I'm not. I don't give it. Like, that's what I did to pay my bills.
yeah, yeah.
Like, outside of that, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me. And don't get me wrong, I love what I do, and I love the company I work for. But I'm not going to sit here and have a 3-hour conversation about my day.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I mean, I've had a lot of people ask me about the tariffs and what's going on.
Yeah.
And am I worried? And is the world coming to an end? And, you know, of course I have my own answer to that and my own, you know, beliefs and concerns and whatever.
Right, right. And you're going to.
Of course, but I'm not like, I don't voice them. It's at the end of the day, I'm glad.
And you can't sit there and stress over it because
No.
it's just going to make shit worse.
Exactly.
That'll make everybody else stressed.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad these people are interested and they care and whatever. But at the end of the day, we have to move forward and we have to adapt if that comes down to it.
Yeah.
You know,
always.
so.
Yeah. Well, that's the best leaders I had in the military. They taught me very quickly that no matter what's going on with them, they're going to put you first and they're going to make sure that you're squared away and you're ready to move forward with them.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it sounds like you do. And it's so motivating when you see somebody go, you know what, this last 10 minutes sucked, but let's go see what the next 10 minutes have.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and that's the whole thing too, is people are like, oh, I had such a bad day. And it's like, did you really? Or did you have like a bad 20 seconds in your day and you drug it out to be a bad 24
That's
hours?
like one of my favorite sayings. You know, the horrors persist, but so do I.
I like that.
Have you guys?
That's a existing out of spite thing.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Fury?
Fury, yeah.
It's a good that movie. Like, yeah, it's about World War II and whatever the battle of whatever. But it's if you really like take the other side of the movie, it's a very much of a leadership movie.
Oh, very much.
Yeah,
Very much so.
yeah, because you have a whole bunch of these guys running around, and then you have I think it's Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, yeah.
Brad Pitt, and you know, like trying to hold this team together.
Yeah.
And
then he realized they're not going to make it, and he's like, I'm not leaving the tank. And we're like, well, we're not leaving you.
yeah, so that's a good movie for it too. You know, you kind of have to.
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
That's a damn good movie. It's one of my favorites.
It's a good
But that honestly is the difference between a leader and a manager.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yes.
I mean,
Oh,
it's-
yes.
There's you
a
can
big
have
difference
a boss,
between the
and then
two.
you can have a actual leader that's your boss. and there's a big
The
difference.
best ever demonstration I've ever seen on leadership. I was still in the Army. This guy walks in. He said, I'm supposed to give y'all a leadership lesson. And he was in his dress blues, or greens, my bad. It was before we went that color. And he walks in. He was like, supposed to give y'all a lesson on leadership. He's like, I want everybody to gather around the desk. And we're all sitting in chairs. We're like, what the gather around the desk. He was an infantry guy, and so he pulls his. Okay, we're good now. So he pulls his braid for infantry off. He lays it on the table. And he was like, watch this. And he pushes it, and it all bundles up in a ball, right? And he pulls it, and it all works in line. And he goes, if y'all don't figure that out, I don't know what you'll figure out. Puts it back on, and he walked out. And I'm like,
what?
Lead from the front. Yeah.
I was like, dude, but it made a lot of sense. Yeah. Like, you know, you pull it along, everybody follows. Yeah. You try to push everybody from the back, and it just balls up into nothing. Yep. And it was awesome. Like, I was young, and it took me a minute or two, but it's stuck with me my entire life. And, like...
Well, people are going to lead or follow sorry to interrupt you, but people are going to follow the confidence and in the leader. Yeah. You're not going to follow that leader if you're like, well, I'm not sure if this guy's going to be able to get us out of this situation.
Exactly.
But if you go home, or you guys go back to, in your case, like the chow hall or whatever, and you're like, sergeant, whatever, that guy, he's got us, bro. Like, we're good. And if everybody's not saying that, believes that, like, everybody's gonna follow that guy.
Exactly.
Right. But that guy has to actually hold up to that, right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of like we were talking about all the way up here about picking up women. It's all in confidence. It's all about being confident, baby.
Act like you've been here before.
Exactly. If you've got confidence and you act like you know what the fuck you're doing, the whole world will follow you.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. Like, and it's like truthfully, like. And sometimes you're just faking the shit out of it.
It's even better when you actually know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then it actually glows, and you're like, yeah, motherfucker.
But in life, didn't everybody make it up as they go along anyway? I mean, that's kind of.
I really feel like.
I'm pretty sure, like as a kid, you like think, oh man, like adults they have it figured out. But then as you grow up, you're like, oh, I am the adult. And it's like, no, we're all just trying to figure this out.
I don't think I'm really an adult. It's just the age that makes me think I am. Like,
it's my ID card that keeps saying I'm.
Yeah. It's that 1985 birth date that makes everybody think I'm an adult. But
really mentally, no.
Oh, hell no.
No.
I don't ever want to grow up. It sounds like a trap.
It is. Trust me.
How would you know?
Because I'm older.
No, you're not.
Than him.
Yeah. You still haven't grown up. Not at all. That's cool though. So how long have y'all been in business?
Less than a year.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit. Yeah. That really surprises me.
I think October will be a year.
Really? That's what's up. Yeah. So what all products do y'all have? I know we talked about the plate carrier.
Yeah, so, okay.
And I just dropped a new product.
We'll give you guys the run-up for the year. We haven't, like, publicly released it or anything, but we have the V1 carrier that we're on the market now. Gun belts. We just opened pre-orders for those. So if you want a gun belt, go get one, because there's not much inventory on those for now. After that will be suppressor covers, and we're working on a proprietary material, which is super badass. If you could take a MAP gas, like MAP Pro, the yellow bottle, whatever, you could sit there and burn it until the bottle is empty. Put your hands like this on it, and you will feel nothing.
Oh my god!
We essentially took two materials, melted them into one, and we were like to the manufacturer, can we like make this like a solid? So yeah, and then we lined it in Kevlar. And so
I love that idea.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
because then you can just throw it right back in your bag. You don't have to worry about melting all your shit.
It doesn't get hot. It just eats heat. I don't know how to describe it. It's crazy. So that's what we were testing the other day to see if it radiates heat. It eats the heat, but does it radiate the heat? Because that's like a big thing, right? So that's coming after that. After that will be a chest rig. After the chest rig will be that.
Is that chest rig going to buckle in and out on your carriers?
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, it would just be an individual chest rig.
Okay. Yeah. Well, your carriers, you can pull the placard off and run them slick, throw the chest carrier over it.
Yes. Yeah, you would be able to. You would be technically able to. And then, what's the last one? Oh, yes, the belt will have. We'll work with Austria Aspirin, whatever how you say their company name, or Australian company. We'll work with them on the Cobra buckle, and then release a different variant of the belt.
Okay.
People have been begging us for multicam, so that's going to come for everything as well. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. I like it a lot.
So 6 total launches this year.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we do the t-shirts. Like some of the t-shirts that are coming out So in honor of the belt dropping, we're dropping 3 shirts. So we have, I guess I'll give you guys like a description of them. We have, actually hand me my phone. Can't remember all this stuff all at once. Let's see.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
When your company's growing so big that you don't remember all your products, that is a huge thing. Especially when you're not quite a year old yet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Where are we at? All right, so that first one. So once again, it's 3. We normally drop 1 a month, but we're doing 3 in the honor of the new product drop as well. So the first one is Donald Trump with a bump helmet and NVG saying you're fired.
Oh my God! Yes.
The second one is it's just more of like a very like simple T-shirt. On the back, it's going to say family, faith, freedom, and the logo.
I like that.
And then the third one is fear doesn't stop death, it stops life. And then that will be, once
I like that too.
That's dope.
But if you guys want to copy them, they are trademarked, so that's why I'm okay with saying it on the podcast.
That last
They'll
quote
probably be
has been around-
dropped before we drop this, maybe.
That last quote's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, well, so like,
How does that work? I guess when you're trademarking,
I can. So when we launch,
So, like, you do the graphic itself?
I'll go ahead and apply for it, and then it puts it under pending. So that way, like, if we want to use it on a T-shirt, it will like technically like freeze it, but then it opens back up to everybody. So we never actually trademark it. Now, with the proprietary material for the suppressor cover, we are going to
Right.
Definitely.
Something like that.
Definitely.
Sure.
Yeah.
But words on a shirt, that's really hard to say. Oh no, you can't do that.
Like BOLO Defense, we own the IP to that, of course.
Right,
But,
right.
Yeah.
That'd be a total different.
Yeah. We don't, leaving something fair game too is like you can't just, if you had enough money for say and time and manpower, you could trademark every little phrase and dumb thing that's out there.
Yeah, there's so many things too. I mean, people
they don't have time to use it.
go off everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you did that, that'd be wild.
Well, if you think about it, every word has already been said. It's just jumbled up.
Right. Yeah. In a different order,
Yeah.
depending on who says it.
So that's pretty much. Dang, so y'all have everything planned out for the year, ready to go.
Yeah, that was set in stone in November of last year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So y'all, y'all got it planned out a year ahead and everything. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 I know a guy that has a business that needs to follow that model.
Yeah, no shit.
Still haven't got my holster from him.
You'll be fine. You'll get it one day. That's what happens with free holsters.
Well, now I'm carrying a different gun all total, so I gotta make a totally different one anyway.
Well, the thing of it is like naturally the product-based business, any sort. It could be drinks, it could be gear, it could be I don't know, you name it, bags, it could be anything. But product-based business is very, very cash intensive. A lot of people they have a hard time getting funding to support the orders they need, and they don't want to tell people that because like you lose credibility when you do that.
Right.
So even when we started, like I just was explaining to you, technically BOLO Defense has been around for over a year, but it was incorporated under a different name. I had a different partner, and I had to remove the partner from the entity. What's the technical term? Expunged or whatever the entity.
Right.
And then refiled with BOLO Defense. So there was no revenue or anything generated under that entity, but I had to bring on a new partner. And one of my biggest issues was I essentially had I had the beat to the song, but I didn't have the lyrics. So like I knew how to execute what I needed to do, but I didn't have the funding. And in product business, you're not selling like a service, you're not selling a digital thing. I mean, product business, if you own the IP, you're building a massive asset as well. So needed funding. So I just essentially started like calling everybody I knew. Not everybody I knew. I mean, I called some people that I thought would be interested and actually like willing to like see it through and everything. Because at the end of the day, it's not like overnight. Like, yep, here we are. We're here today. I see it all the time with these influencers or whatever. These people selling like a course or something. you can make this much money overnight and blah 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 blah. You know what? It's like,
Instagram's full of that.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody's business is failing because they're selling a course.
You're right. Yeah.
Well, here, there's a quote, and one of my advisor, that's what I'm going to call him. He told me this. He goes, "People that can do, and people that cannot teach."
Yep.
Yeah, and it just makes sense, right? Okay, you go to school and go to learn business. Well, where's that guy's business?
Yeah.
What's he got?
Yeah. If you really knew business, you'd be running a business, not teaching a bunch of drunk assholes.
So, I mean, there's that too. It's just not the reality of it. It does take some time. But, I mean, if you have the right things in place, you have the right teams, you have the right systems, and you take your time to build out those teams and systems, because it does take time and energy, you can do something super duper big in a very short amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you talking about that with the business, that product-based thing. With the other podcast I'm in, like, we were like, hey, look, let's do just hats and t-shirts, and we'll do sales on them to fund what we're doing. Bruh, there's so much more involved in that than people even freaking realize.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, we're going to do koozies and hats, because you don't have to worry about sizes like you do with shirts.
Inventory.
Right, yeah, and we don't have to have as much inventory. I'll just order like a couple hundred koozies, couple hundred hats, and then like $1,000 later, we've sold like 12 of them, and like everybody gives them away, and I'm like, oh god, like, dude, it's so much harder than people realize.
Yeah.
You can't just say, here's my logo, let me slap it on everything, and the whole world wants to buy it.
Yeah.
Especially like in the podcast world, especially the outdoor podcast, every asshole that hunts and fishes has a podcast now.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's trending.
oh yeah,
It's trending,
yeah. So it's like, I've got 27 people that actually follow us, and I just ordered 250 hats. Like, what am I going to do with these other ones? Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, they turn into giveaways, and you kind of have to do that to help grow your business. And it's like, okay, so I ate this cost, and that's whatever, but when the hell are we going to make money with it? You know, when's it going to turn into an actual?
Yeah, that goes back to finding a business mentor. Or how my question was like, how do you get there? Like,
how do you find?
Because you seem to have done it, so that's the.
Yeah. So initially, I joined a community, like for people in like the online.
You mean a cult, like John?
Like in the online business world. And by the way, when I started BOLO Defense and said I'm gonna go into selling gear, everybody, even the mentor, told me it was a bad idea not fail. But I already failed twice and before this, so I just kind of told him, go fuck yourself.
So when you failed twice before this, was it also with gear, or was it with something different?
It was something different.
What was it? Do you mind me asking?
Yeah, it was muscles, like to like help get out of.
Oh, muscle roller.
Yeah, like to help.
Oh, yeah.
Like joints and bones and stuff. I was gonna start something around that because I've always had problems with like recovery and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I thought it would fit. Plus, I'm big into fitness.
Yeah.
But
I like it.
Ran into issues with that. Whatever they told me.
I bet that's a hard market to be in.
I don't know. I mean, the mistakes I made weren't necessarily in the market. You know, what I really learned was, build something that people like really like, build a cult following. You know, like, and to do that, you have to put yourself out there. You have to do a lot more than people are willing to do. I see so many times, especially today, where people want a faceless business.
Right.
Everybody wants that.
Want that passive income.
I want passive income, and I want this, and I want that, and there is no such. Even in real estate, fine, you can consider like rental properties, you can hire a property management company, whatever. But if you want to actually if you're the guy that enters looking for passive income and you're not willing to do work and you just want to pass it off to the other guy, then guess what? You're not going to make it as far as somebody that's in the trenches willing to do it. Eventually, you need to work outside the business. Otherwise, you as a CEO become the bottleneck of the business. And there's a time and place for that. But, for example, R&D, I could pass it off to one of my guys any day. Hey, this is your job now. Yeah. But I'm doing the R&D.
Right.
I'm doing it, you know? Not solely me, but I'm doing it with them as well.
Yeah.
And I do that so I can visually see this is what's happening, but also in my mind I'm plotting because I'm looking, I'm writing down, and after I go through a testing phase with somebody or a task we did, I then write it down and I create a system for it, and then I roll out the system as we need it. You know, like right now the company's smaller, it has 2 guys besides me, and so. But I don't need more guys. There's a company, you guys know Ghost, the energy drinks.
Yeah.
You know how many people they have with their company entirely? 100.
Wow.
100 people, yeah.
That blows my mind.
Dang.
Yeah.
Because Ghost, like, their supplements are huge.
There's a billions, multi-billion things.
Yeah.
Let's start with the energy.
pre-workouts.
Let's start with the energy drink.
Yeah.
Goes on to the
Yeah.
pre-workouts.
Their pre-workouts are amazing.
Because everybody wants to sit down and have meetings, and then they want to, like, mingle over a call about strategy and this, that, and the other. But really, you don't need any of that. If it's written out in clarity and everybody knows what they need to do, then it gets done. And it's like, hey, Rick, if you didn't get this done, or this didn't get done, why didn't it get done?
Yeah.
And then you talk with Rick, you work out his issue, and then you help Rick get it done, and it just gets done.
Damn it, Ricky.
Versus sitting on a call and just mingling for 45 minutes, wasting time.
Yeah.
Because realistically, a workday could be done within 3 to 5 hours if you're just like lasered in.
That's what. So I used to do outside sales for a company that sold small engines and small engine parts, and I did all kind of L&D and putting these engines in new equipment and stuff. It was really cool. But they were owned, so it was Honda engines. Okay. So, exactly. So the people that owned Honda come over and they were like, look, there's a big thing that you as Americans don't realize. When you're doing business, there's a window of time where you're actually productive. Outside of that, all this talk is just added chatter.
Yeah, just bullshit.
Yeah, and it's not even necessary.
Yeah.
And they're like, with our company, we want you to go in, you do your business, and if the talk walks away from business, then you walk away from the talk.
Yeah.
And that was literally like, so our sales calls, so I had a crazy cool role, like where if somebody couldn't get an engine running right, I would come out and fix it, and then I would wind up selling them more engines or parts or whatever. So your sales call was, so what do y'all sell the most of? What do you have the problems with, and this, that? And then they're like, oh man, we do this and that, but last year this guy had this and that guy had that, and they talk about all this weird, like crazy shit that doesn't matter, and you're like, all right, bud, I appreciate it. I'm on a time crunch. I got to get going, and you just leave. And dude, I felt like a dick for like the first couple months doing that, and then I looked up and I was like, holy crap, my sales revenue is huge though.
Yeah.
And it was like, so then the next time you go see that customer, they're like, hey, this is what I need. This is what I have. Do you have a little time to talk to me about this? And you're like, yeah, not a problem. And you take care of that and you leave. And it's like, look, now I have showed them that this is how I operate.
You created the positive monster.
Right.
So many people create the wrong monster.
Right. And it was awesome because you would step out of the truck and you would walk in this business. You would talk to the guy that owns it and he'd be like, hey, glad you're here. I need this, this, and this. We're having a problem with this. Can you look at it now? And it's like,
Yeah, because he knows that's how you operate now.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like my day literally. So most of those stores open at like 7 or 8. So I wouldn't start my day until like 7:30. And I would go in at 7:30, 8 o'clock, let them have their time to wake up, do their stuff. I would show up, I would do my thing, and by noon I was done with my work day.
Yeah.
And it was the coolest damn job. Because it was just this short window of time where I had to bust my ass. And then I came in and I did my notes on it, and then I drank all the Tanqueray at the Texas Roadhouse.
I see all these guys, and it's like to that same point, like, I got to put in these 16-hour work days. And it depends on the nature of the business. It really does. But, like, we have, like, we know where we're at. We know what needs to get done.
Yeah.
Always, for me, I prioritize the most shitty, gruesome thing first.
Yes.
Because
Get it out of the way.
And then it's like you have the most energy when you start. It only makes sense.
Yep.
Right? So get that out of the way and then knock out some of the little petty nonsense. If you really dial in, you can be done very quickly.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side, for me, a lot of my work is just like, this, and then that, the reply to this, reply to that, this, that, whatever, right? So I'll take this. But, you can knock out 8 hours a day could be knocked out in an hour and a half, 2 hours, easily.
Yeah.
Easily. Turn off your phone, close the blinds, open your computer, put some headphones on, and work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have a job that computer.
Yeah, in that world, yes.
Yeah.
Like in my job, you can't, because I'm constantly running around and doing service calls and things like that. But you're very true. Like, and if even in my job, if it was a thing where like all the broken stuff could just show up in front of me, you could knock it out so much quicker.
Yeah.
Because there's so much of the day that's wasted by travel time or this or that or talking. In my life, there's so much of my day wasted by trying to freaking get into a plant because this gate guard that got fell out of basic training and couldn't get picked for the freaking police academy. It doesn't want to let me in, and like, oh my god. Yeah, but no, I definitely agree. Like, there's a small window of time where it's super productivity, and outside of that, let's do something else.
Yeah, 100%.
Does anybody else feel like they're on an episode of Shark Tank right now? I'm just curious.
No, this dude's like brilliant. I'm just trying to pick his brain. Like, how do you get to that level?
Right. Like you bring a lot to the table with all of it. Like
for sure.
Appreciate it.
It's solid knowledge.
Yeah. And how old are you?
Well, let's guess.
Oh, I suck at this game. I'm not good at math. I think you're close to our age, though. Well, I'm 40. I'm the oldest one of the group. I'll be 40 in May. I'm the oldest one of the group. I would think you're in your early 30s.
36.
36.
I would think early 30s.
Early 30s. 30, maybe 28.
What'd you say?
28.
28.
I'm 23.
Holy
no
shit.
shit.
Yeah.
Bro, that is what's up.
Yeah.
Like, that is awesome.
Yeah, that's even more badass.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
I was
And
an idiot when I was 23.
Oh, dude, I was just coming home from the Army. Oh, God, that was a horrible time of my life. I owned a mobile DJ company because I didn't want to have a real job, so I went to work for myself, DJing parties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've always been that guy, though, that, like, I hate working for other people. That's why I love what I do, because I make my own schedule, I do my own thing, I jump in my service truck, and I take off.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's awesome.
Damn, y'all just called him 40. That's fucked up.
You know, like, dude, I'm 40. Why is it fucked up to be 40?
Well,
Hear
you
this
look
guy talk.
40
Like,
though.
how do you?
Dang, I guess I look 40, guys.
No, I really figured you were early 30s.
I just thought, maturity level.
Yeah.
That's what I was basing it off of.
Yeah.
We'll try to save that.
Appreciate it.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, that is awesome to be 23
For sure.
and already, you're
Well,
killing it.
And it just goes to show, though, that if you have that mindset and you have that drive and you don't take no for a fucking answer, then look at what you can get done.
I've never taken no for an answer. I've been real good at that. I mean, what I will say, though, is early last year, I worked. I worked a job. You know, early last year until September-ish, around there. What really was a pivoting point, because I wasn't really taking anything from the company. We were generating sales and things like that. And I probably could have, but I never did.
Right.
And, you know, I had a job, and I walked in one day, and I'm not really good with authority. I don't mean police. I just mean, I always looked at a job like, bro, I could run this place way better than you. Like, get me out of here. You know, so
I'm just here to pay my bills and I'm going home.
So, anyway, I walked in, and the guy's like mad at me for something because I don't know, I did something wrong. And he gets in my face, starts pointing and screaming. So I let him finish. You know, I let him finish. After he was done screaming and yelling, I waited about 5 seconds just to make sure he was, you know, he was out of gas. Then I yelled at him louder, and I go, hey, his name. And I was like, I'm not mad, whatever, Tony. His name was Tony. I was like, Tony, I'm not mad at you, but I just wanted you to hear how you sounded. You sound like an idiot. So then I walked out of that place. I told myself I'll never go back to a job even if it kills me. And so I even called my roommate and I told him the same thing to put it like in reality.
Right.
And I did.
Yeah, you got to put it out there. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Right.
feel
And
that.
so then the next 3 months of the business was like whoa, we have something crazy on our hands. But I was putting 12 actual 12-hour days in for the last 3 months of the year. And the amount of progress we made was insane.
Oh, yeah.
And so then I never needed to go back to a job because we were just kicking ass.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then that's the difference of I want to or I need to.
Yes. And that right there, though, I think is why so many small businesses fail, is because they don't have to have that small business because they're working for a big conglomeration. They're getting their bills paid there, and this is just kind of a side hobby.
Yeah.
And they're not depending on that to make their life. That's why. So I've got a buddy that has a food truck that y'all all know him. He was working for his grandfather for a company that sold truck accessories, right? And so he bought this trailer and he had things going. And he called me and he was like, Moose, I'm going to give it 2 weeks. That way I give him enough time. And I'm quitting my job and I'm doing this full time. I was like, do you have enough work for that? He's absolutely not. I said, so what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to make enough work for that.
Yeah, exactly.
He said, if I don't do this, I will stay in bed dreaming about this.
Yeah.
He's like, and you're either sleeping or you're actually doing it. And I'm not going to stay sleeping.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm here for you. And he was like, and at the time I worked for a bigger company and he kind of had a standing offer there. And he was like, keep that offer open in case I fell. He was like, but I don't think I will. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make sure they hire somebody today. He's like, do what? I was like, that way you don't have something to fall back on.
It's so true. Like right now, like I didn't go to school. I couldn't go get a job. Like I'd get some bullshit job.
Yeah.
But I'm really fucking good at what I do with this.
Right.
And this, without like putting numbers and all that nonsense into an equation, BOLO Defense is growing rapidly and doing really, really good. The team is growing. Everything is growing. Everything is moving in a upward chart. And that's fine, but if something were to if I were to, I don't know, if the whole thing were to come crashing down tomorrow, I would know how to get up and fix it.
Yeah.
And you have to. You can't just have this safety net of oh well, if it crashes, I'm gonna go work for McDonald's or
and then you're just gonna screw yourself.
Yeah.
And now we're 3 or 4 years later, he's got 2 different food trucks and a restaurant.
That's how it works. Because you have the mentality of I'm going in and all right, what happened?
It's either gonna go or it's gonna blow. There's no in between. Yeah. And if it crashes down, then I'll figure it out then. But until then, we're just riding it out.
I always had that safety. I think because when I was back in the day when I lived with my parents and everything was always you got to be super safe. You got to follow this. You got to do that. And then I just got out on my own. I became incredibly reckless.
I feel like that's more of a northern thing too, though, because we have another friend from Illinois. That's how he was raised, and I know with us it was oh yeah, just try it, find out how hard you get hurt. Down here in the South, you are not raised that you have to be safe. It's more of a I'm gonna watch your head bounce off the concrete, and by the third time you're not gonna do it again.
Well, I didn't get to that until I got out on my own, and I just had to learn it. That's really what it is, and it's those people that go, I'm gonna make this the thing.
Right.
Versus those people that are oh yeah, well, I got this side business.
Yeah.
Anytime I hear somebody say I have a side business, forget about it. It's not a business.
Yeah, it's anything.
It's even worse when they say I have side businesses.
How do you do that? That's just too much.
So I know a guy that opened up he had a wing shop, right? He did these awesome wings. He had a store in the mall.
Those sound pretty good right now.
Oh, bro, I'm sorry too. And he had a store in the mall, and he was doing really good with it. And then he opened a food truck, and he was doing really good with it. So he was doing some mobile catering, and then he started washing trash cans on the side.
Yeah.
And then that turned into a mobile car wash, and then this and that, and then you would look up and you're like, bro, where's your food trailer been? Oh man, I got so busy with my other 2 projects, and I'm like, and then you look up and his spot in the mall's closed down, and all that, and I'm like, what'd you do?
So we have an analogy where you have 3 glasses of water, and one is full, right? So now you could keep this one full, or you can now start dumping it.
There's only so much water you can't.
Right.
So
you know what I mean? And so it's how you can't spread the person that's focused on one thing will always make it further than the person focused on 3 things.
Yep. And that's you say that is crazy.
And those 3 things would never ever grow to be anything.
Right.
I guess it could, but it'd be
it's a lot more difficult.
Middle school. Yeah. And it's funny you said because I was told that one time I was in a horrible relationship, and my cousin came to me and she was like, look, at the end of the day, you're pouring out of your vessel into her over and over and over. What do you have left for you?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. And it's exactly what you're saying. You've got to have that there, or it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just not. That's awesome. Crazy.
It's okay to take a hit on that glass of water too, and to let it depreciate itself.
Right.
And then you have to refill its.
Right.
I mean, that's just part of it. It's part of failures and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Y'all about ready to wrap this one up?
Yeah, I think we're pretty much.
Well, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah. If you have anything.
Oh man, questions for you guys. How do you like Austin?
Oh.
It's been
No. I do have a question for you. What is everybody carrying right now?
A 19X.
Are you really? I thought you had your.
Oh no! I had my other Glock.
I think in honor of this being a gun podcast, we should all put our guns on the table.
Mine's in my bag.
Oh, hold on. Let's do this. I like this.
I'm not carrying anything actually.
What kind of gun guys are you?
No. Like I said, I'm a token one-legged guy.
This guy's got a whole fucking rifle. This guy. This guy.
Hey, blare up that fork.
Are we still wearing headphones or?
Here we go. There.
Alright. I'll join the party.
There we go.
There's better.
There we go.
Oh, that's the sick. We were just talking about this pistol on the way
Is
here.
it chamber?
No. But you're flashing the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit. Please don't shoot me. Those are solid fucking carries. I love those
They are.
65s.
I just picked up the 43X.
I don't want my baby to fall.
I just picked up the 43X and I love it.
Clock.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally like the way the grip is. I know a lot of that's like a
Of the
controversial.
gloss, yeah.
And I carried this piece of crap forever. It's a little Kel-Tec.
That's the gun he used to use when he was a hooker.
It's too small.
It is.
That's his
This
hooker
is
pistol.
The Kydex that Grid made for it.
Okay.
A long,
And I love the way that
long
Kydex
time ago.
fits. That's some of his first work.
Yeah, we don't talk about that no more.
Good. Let's get rid of my cheetah print.
Dude, I will put.
nice.
I need to make you a BOLO Defense like.
Oh,
BOLO
bro,
Defense.
yeah.
I can do it. I can do it. I'll
That'd be
make you
sick.
one.
That'd be sick.
I already have a mold for this too.
Hell yeah. That'd be sick.
Oh yeah, I'll get you. I'll get you.
Yeah. And I just built this. This is fun.
Oh, I don't remember.
That's
Is it? What is it?
5.56.
But like, all right, I'm not gonna be the one to say it. To get like, what is the weapon classified as?
This is a pistol.
It's a pistol. Yeah.
So, but it's an integrated folder. It's not an add-on.
Right.
Like it's integrated in the lower.
Right.
So it's pretty slick. I like it.
Who makes the upper and the lower?
The lower is 17 Designs. 17 Concepts. I don't remember.
Yeah,
They're out of
and then-
business now.
They're
So
not
it's
in
probably
business
gonna
anymore.
suck. And the upper is a PSA, a little cheapo. There's not one chambered.
Sweet man.
And the
Probably fun to shoot.
oh my god, it's a blast.
Have you gotten a can for it?
Not yet. It's on the way. I don't know. It's got a weird mag retention system going on there. It's not always wanting to work right. But no, I got a can on the way. I don't have it here yet. Oh, I just chipped my phone with a gun. Oh, it was just the screen protector. But I love it. It's fun. I built it for that purpose. Because it'll fold up and
Right,
fit
right,
it anywhere. So it's pretty legit.
Hell yeah.
It normally stays up. I've got a tool bag. We got like a little mini chest rig that it all rides in.
Who makes that?
Rugged.
Oh,
The
okay.
360.
Yeah, I have a friend with the rugged.
It's not bad. It's light.
Very good.
How long is this? 9? 8?
7.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah. It's up to 338 Lapua. It's a 36 cal.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yours is 36?
Mm-hmm.
So the one I ordered is a 30 from,
I don't like it on this AR. I want to get a proprietary. Definitely.
yeah.
This was really for my AKs.
Is it a flow through?
I think so.
I don't even know, to be honest with you.
That is a sweet rifle though. Like, absolutely.
I broke off the safety on the other side, so
Like,
yeah.
it is so much fun to shoot.
I fucked up that bolt last time. It came apart. So
You got it running again though.
yeah, I got it back
Who
up.
makes the upper?
Arrow.
Arrow precision.
The lower is Geisley?
Yeah.
Is the trigger Geisley too?
Yes.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And that trigger is absolutely crisp.
Oh yeah, it is. It is
Crisp.
beautiful.
This is what? 1 to 6. Nice.
Yeah.
That's badass. Who makes the light?
Streamlight. Oh, I got a little.
Oh, you got a cover on it.
3D printed a little cover on there.
Oh, you made that cover?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, dude, it's nice.
That's
it's light.
Yeah,
Sharp,
it's super
right? Like,
light.
I'm surprised how light it is with the optic too.
Yes.
Usually the LPVOs are like really heavy.
That's what I wanted. I
Yeah.
wanted something super light, and so I kind of built it for that. Really.
I like your colors that you went with on it too.
It's really
I love
weird.
that Ranger green. This one's gonna get a spray paint action whenever we get done. So it just got thrown together. Oh, I just got it running because it takes
Still-
a.
Are we
it takes
still
a-
live?
Yeah, we still.
Yeah,
Yeah, we still.
Oh, we're
It
still
takes a-
rolling?
Yeah, It takes a specific buffer to make up for the space. And I didn't have the buffer when I got the lower until just now, so I just got it running.
Cool.
But it's fun. It was just a little. I was really so. That one's a funny story. I was really looking for a lower because I bought what's that freaking?
The 358 SOCOM?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a freaking SOCOM upper off of him.
Okay.
Because someone was like, it looks like fun. And I was talking to him and I was like, I need to get a lower for it. And he was like, I got this cool folding lower. And I'm like, I'm not putting this SOCOM. I was like, send me pictures of it. He sent me pictures. He was like, I'll sell it to you for this. And I was like, sold. So I built this. Nice. And I still haven't built the SOCOM. And then I bought this, and I still haven't built the SOCOM.
Nice.
The SOCOM's different, man, because you gotta add certain buffer weights and springs and.
Yeah, it's a lot more.
When I built mine, it was a pain, and then I sold it because I hated shooting it.
Well, and that's the
$3 a round.
So, anything Target wants to do a video with me, he wants to get his 50 Beowulf running, and he wants us to do. Yeah. So he wants to do like $50 Magdog.
I have a few rounds.
What could be a cool video, or even just we could do a pod. So we have a range we go to, but range owner is super cool. I'm not gonna say the name of it publicly, but sorry to him. But they have a lodge, and you can stay in the lodge overnight. We could shoot around all night with MVGs and shit.
What?
Dude, I'd be down.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah.
Oh,
we could do like a follow-up.
Oh, dude.
Tommy would be there and everything, too.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be dope.
Oh, yeah.
We could bring I've been trying to talk to Guan. I can figure out how to say his name.
I didn't know how to say that either.
I've been talking to him, and I have some other buddies in Florida, and they were talking about coming down and stuff. I was like, man, we should take a trip.
Florida tactician?
Well, I mean, that's we've been planning to do a big group thing to go there. We want to do something overnight like that.
That'd be
I think
cool.
It'd be sick to get some of the.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, dude, that would be awesome.
It would.
Well, I think that's what we should do next then.
Yeah, man, I'm
Totally
down. We have a whole podcast, and we could probably interview everybody.
Oh yeah. We could just set up and roll through people. All right, I'm gonna go shoot. Bring somebody else in.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Cool.
You want to go ahead and close it out?
Yeah. We got to. We're gonna run for 12 hours if we don't.
Go ahead and get if you want to shout out where we can find you.
Yeah, I mean the website is BOLO Defense. BOLO.defense.com. I lied. BOLO-defense.com. Sorry. That's where all the gear, t-shirts, all the things you'll find on there. Pre-orders for the belts are available now. Instagram is BOLO_defense. Hit us up for anything. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, we absolutely loved it. We're glad that we had you on.
Oh yeah, it's been a blast, man. We appreciate you coming out.
Yeah. Anything else to close with?
Not at all.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, great time.
So we appreciate everybody for listening. If you stayed this long, glad you got to see our toys. And we appreciate y'all. Thanks so much.
Thanks.